What's up, RC people? Tony here, CCxRC, and we're coming to you with a super inexpensive quadcopter from Furibee. It's the F36. It's like a micro quad. For 16 bucks over at GearBest, you can get into this thing, and you'll see that I've been doing the blade and duck tricks, and that cost me 100 bucks for just the quadcopter and the camera system. No controller, no anything. And so this little guy, which I'm going to go ahead and fess up right now, guys. I'm reshooting this intro because the camera didn't capture it. I don't know if I didn't hit record right, whatever. Missed some things on this one, so I apologize. It's not like me to mess up the videos, but I did on this one, and so there's some missing parts. So I'm going to kind of fix that right now. So I've already gone ahead and I've unboxed it, and I've already installed this little camera. So 16 bucks for the quadcopter with the remote, and another 25 for the little camera that I mounted here, plus a little dollar bracket that I have holding it in here. And I'll talk more about that as the video goes on. All you have to do is solder two little wires, your positive and negative, to the back of the board where the battery goes in. They're labeled on the bottom side here, B+, B-. Just follow that over to the other side. It's really easy to solder. Just make sure your solder doesn't run together, because you'll complete that circuit and you'll fry probably your board and your camera. So I'll give you that little bit. We're going to pick up the video where it's not messed up, which is at part of the unboxing. You won't see this get unboxed, but basically you get the quadcopter, you get extra props, you get a little screwdriver, and a charger for the battery that comes with it. And so we'll leave it with the video about the controller and pairing up with the drone, and then we'll take it downstairs and show a little bit of the install of the camera, mount, and how I mounted the camera onto this, and then show some flight footage. So sorry that I messed this one up, guys. It's just not like me. So let's pick it up. Alright, so you have to supply your own AAA batteries. Just takes 3 of them. And we're going to go ahead and see what kind of juice we have in this thing already and give it a quick little test flight. Alright, so we plug in the quadcopter first, then turn on the controller, and it will bind. Alright. Ooh, it's quick. Those motors are good. It's taking a little while to get used to this controller, because it's a little bit stiffer than my Spectrum is. So it'll take a little getting used to just the controller of this to be able to fly it for me. But if you don't have one already, you should be good to go. Alright, so what I can tell you so far already is that the motors on this are a lot punchier than on the blade. So it really takes off. When you gun it, it goes for sure. So we'll set it down here, because what we're going to do is we're going to take it apart. We'll charge the battery while we're doing that, and we're going to take off this canopy, which looks like it'll just pop right off here. It's just a little tab, and reveal the underside. So the battery that it comes with is a 150 mAh 3.7 volt 20C battery. It's really tiny. It uses the same plug as my blade, but it doesn't use the long battery packs, which I have a bunch of. So what I'll probably do is end up modding this out and putting in some foam and stuff in order to be able to run the batteries that I have full supply of. Alright, so here's a little Furibee camera that I picked up as well. This is the F03. You can see the little antenna on top. And we've got a little bit of soldering to do here, because we're going to solder this onto the positive and negative here on the back where the battery comes in. So we'll go ahead and get that taken care of. We're going to move down to the garage where the soldering iron is and get this installed. So one other thing that I picked up was this little camera mount, which unfortunately the camera does not mount to. It's too small, the board, to screw in. We're going to put it on here anyway, because there's a little transistor on this board that makes it almost impossible to get the camera to sit level. And so we're just going to try putting this on here. And I've got a couple of screws that I can use that were left over when I got the new canopy. And so hopefully these screws are the right size, because the ones that came with it look too large, like they're meant to thread into this upper part to mount your camera. I'll be darned if I get this actually in here. There we go. And now we'll put our double-sided tape right onto this this unit here, and that should give us something to mount to and keep it pretty level. So that'll work out even though it's not how it's supposed to have been done. I'm gonna put a little piece down here on the bottom. Actually, what we'll do is we'll just flip it right over the top like so. Make it a little bit stiffer. Bring our camera around. We'll smash it onto here. Mount on it. So there we go. Alright, so there she is, completed. Camera mounted and everything, ready to do some FPV. So the next thing that we have to do is we got to plug her in and get it connected. There we go, we're doing some FPV. Get it all set up now, my Fat Shark, so I can record it for you guys. And I don't know if you can see it in there, but we're connected as well. You can barely see it. Alright guys, so I've got my two little FPV tiny whoops here. The Furibee F36 that looks a lot more DIY. And the Blade Inductrix. So we'll see how this little guy does. The only thing left we have to do is give it a test flight. Definitely a little bit harder to get used to the controls than the Spectrum. It's pretty stiff controls, I'll say that. And down we go. The controller is a little bit, I mean, it's not as professional as my Spectrum for sure. Alright, so that's a quick look at the Furibee F36 with the F03 camera on it, 5.8 gigahertz. I will say that you will need to trim this thing a little bit after you put this on because the added weight of the antenna backward like that makes it kind of sit back when you take off. It also felt like it was tilting a little to the right, so you just have to trim it in with the little controller. But for 16 bucks to get the quad is pretty awesome. And then if you want to spend the extra 25 and get the camera, it's even greater. And they've got a $46 to $55 FPV headset you can get to work with this, which I think is totally worth it. So you can get a full FPV micro quad or tiny whoop for 100 bucks ready to go, versus the 100 that I spent on this Blade Inductrix, just as you see here. This is 100 bucks. Then I have my Spectrum controller, which runs about $250 to $300 depending on the one that you get. And if you get goggles like these, you're looking at another $350 to $400. So for 100 bucks, with all the Furibee stuff, you can be flying and starting to learn this cool FPV hobby, quadcopters, micros, flying indoors like this. It's a lot of fun, guys. Flying under chairs, under tables, all through your house. You can be in one room sitting down, fly upstairs through the doorways into other rooms. It's really fun. So I just want to share this little tiny whoop with you guys. Super inexpensive. You can get it on GearBest. 16 bucks on sale, 25, 50 more for the headset, so about 99 bucks to get into the FPV game indoors with this little tiny whoop. You can fly it outdoors. I fly my Blade outdoors if there's not a lot of wind. It's a lot of fun too, just whipping around the yard, flying through things. But this is a very inexpensive way to get into it, guys. I highly recommend it. There's a lot of people doing this. There's a lot of modifications, 3D printed parts you can do for this. These bodies are the exact same, so the props are the same. A lot of it's interchangeable with the Blade, and so you've got a lot of options here. I wish the battery was the same type of mount as this one. I prefer this little stick battery to this smaller one here, but maybe it's just because I got into this one first. But anyway, guys, hope you like it. Have fun RCing. We'll catch you next time.